Hey there guys, today's project guide back here again. We are going to be messing around with this one today. As you can tell, we got snow. Ugh. I live in the wrong state. If I had a garage, I'd love life. But anyway, what we're going to be messing around with after all this gets cleaned off, we've got this little door handle here. Oh look, it looks like the ice has iced it back together. No, not really. Oh, it's a broken door handle. I'm going to show you guys how to swap it out and start this thing up, let it warm up for a few minutes so it doesn't look like Antarctica out here. Anyway, give me a second to clean this off. We'll be right back. Okay guys, we got this thing all cleared off. God, is she dirty. I hate the winter months just because, you know, your nice cars get all destroyed up here with the salt and all the sand, and you know how it goes. Upstate New York giving it to us. But anyway, we got her fired up. She's getting nice and warm. All the ice is melting off of it. I cannot get over how nice this exhaust sounds. If you plug it into a home system, you'll be able to hear it. Maybe your computer speakers or your headphones, but I know my phone doesn't play a good representation of this, so. Oh, she sounds good. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tools. We're going to come out here. We're going to leave the window up. That's important because everything is inside the door panel that you need to access. So if your window's down and your door handle's broke, figure out a way to get that window back up. Hopefully it's not an issue for you. But yeah, I'm going to grab some tools. Okay, so we're back here. We're in the driver's side door. And I got my little list of tools we're going to use. I just got a gun with a 10 mil deep socket. I've got a 10 mil shallow, a ratchet if you want, unless you don't have that gun. We're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver or the attachment for the gun. A 10 millimeter box end for inside of the door, just because you never know if you need them. A pair of angled needle nose pliers and a little clip popping tool for taking the interior door panel off. So with all these things, first you're going to notice, let me get out of the sun here, we've got these screws. There's one here, one here, there is one back behind the door here, and there is one underneath that little plastic tab that you can pop out with a flathead screwdriver. Now when you go around the back side of the door here, there's one here up top, one here, and that's actually the 10 millimeter bolt. I don't know if you can see it, there you go. That's going to be holding in the handle assembly. We're going to start by taking this whole interior door panel off. Once that's out of the way, we're going to move on to taking out the rod and the handle assembly. Beautiful and cold out today, guys, so bear with. Let's get after this. So now that we've got the screws in the bottom here, the ones over there, the one behind the handle, and pulled that little plastic out behind it, and we got the one from down in the little door handle itself underneath the plastic tab, we're going to take this little tool here and go around the bottom edge of the door and work our way all the way around, and we're going to pop the interior door panel off. And once that's out of the way, there's a clip that's underneath that switch right there that we're going to have to disconnect from the bottom. It's a little pinch clip style thing. You just squeeze it and you slowly pull the plug out. Alright, so now we've got that panel out of the way. Make sure that you don't have any of your little plastic retaining clips pop out and disappear. I believe they're red from the factory. Maybe these have been replaced, I'm not 100% sure, but keep an eye on those. You don't want to lose them. If you lose those, then your door's not going to go on right. It's going to pinch in the door every time you shut it. It'll just be a huge pain in the butt. But if you carefully pull around the outside edge of that, everything pops right out. And actually, I'll show you right here. That's one of the little retaining clips right there, just locks into it. There's two of them over there, and then all the rest of these little holes. Right there's a hole, there's a hole. That's where the clips end up going. So just keep an eye out for those. You don't want to lose them. But now that we got that out of the way, it's time to pull back our vapor barrier or water barrier. We're going to carefully go from this side and pull it back, and we're going to do about half of the door. We're going to pull it back to the handle mechanism on the inside of the door, and after that we're going to start taking out our 10 millimeter bolts. Also, this part right here, you probably want to wear some gloves, just because that black layer of tar that goes around the edge, that glue. That stuff comes off once it gets on you. It's a real nasty pain to take it back off your skin. So I'm going to throw some gloves on. Alright guys, so if you're careful with this barrier here, this plastic, you can peel it back and just stick it to itself. And there is enough glue all the way around here and on that plastic sheet so we can actually reuse it. Now we're going to move on to getting the handle itself out. So first things first, we are going to disconnect that 10mm bolt. It's the only one on the side of the door. You'll see a little black plastic rivet here, and then that's a 10mm right below it. And then, let's see if I can get you a shot of this. Down in here is the actual electric lock assembly. And if you look, I don't know if I can get this one-handed. Yeah, I can. Here, move over a little bit more here. I'll zoom in for you. If you look, that's where the key goes in. And just beyond that, just above it, you can almost see the head of the 10mm bolt sticking out. That's half of it right there. That's the one you need your wrench for. Now this metal clip right here, you can take that out by prying it up and out with a flathead screwdriver, and that's going to release the electronic portion of the lock. And we're going to pop that out, not lose anything, and we're going to take out the two 10mm. There's one up there that you can kind of see, and then the one on the outside of the door. After we're done with that, we just have to disconnect the rod that goes to the handle, and I'll show you the new assembly and how to install it. We've got our 10mm inside, our 10mm outside, and we pulled the barrel for the keys off. And I found it easier actually to use my stubby 10mm ratchet instead of my ratcheting wrench. It ended up sliding on there perfectly fine. So yeah, that works great. Now that everything's freed up, the last thing to take out is going to be up behind the glass right there. There is the rod that you have to disconnect that actually actuates the door with the handle. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like real quick, and that comes out simply by pushing it straight towards the back of the door. Like, get on it and just push it off. I'm sure you guys can probably see that a little bit. There you go. That brass rod with the white clip going up top, you push that straight back and you should be able to pull the old handle out, and we'll start putting the new one in. Okay, so after a few minutes of finagling around with that thing, I think I can show you from this side what it looks like better. We got the handle, it's out. That white clip right there is where the rod pushes in from that side. It's that rod right there. There's a little notch in the top of it that goes in. You can see that shiny silver part of it, or shiny brass part of it. But yeah, that locks in to that white clip and just pushes straight in, snaps in, and you're good to go. So here is our new door handle. It is a Dorman brand. This is the driver's side. It comes with everything you need. Let's see. Got it all cut open here. Alright, so there's the new seal, the gasket that goes around the handle itself. We've got the handle mechanism. And lastly, we've got our little white clip. And that's all we need right now to get this thing going again. It actually gives you a replacement steel ring right here that goes around the barrel, this piece. I think we can just push the new one right straight through without taking this one out. It should lock automatically. So if you're pulling that ring off, don't worry about saving it. This new kit comes with all the goodies that you need. This is $20 at AutoZone. So that's not bad at all. I've seen a guy online, see if I can source it. There was a guy that I saw making these out of billet aluminum, and they looked amazing, but they're a little pricey, but well worth it if you end up going through a lot of door handles. And I also have seen people go through and reinforce these right in the back here in the little cup. I've seen them put adhesive, some pieces of thin pieces of aluminum or You know, try to reinforce it in some way. Just in this little joint right here, it goes through. You can do whatever you want with it, but this one actually seems a little bit heavier duty than the stock one, dare I say. But yeah, we're gonna throw this thing in, and that'll be that. So I'm gonna show you guys how to put it back together real fast. And with this gasket, I wanted to show you guys something. The one that I got, it was a little bit tight. There's these little pins that it sits on, and it keeps popping off on one side, and you can't really hold it on. But there's 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3 here. This one, I had to take a little bit of that edge off so it would fit in there flush, because every time I'd push these tabs down, this side would pop off, and every time I get this side on, that side would pop off. So take it inside, put the gasket on there, get it all nice and tight so it's sitting correctly, and then I took a little bit of crazy glue and just put a dab on each one of these little posts to hold this gasket in place. That's what the little shiny dots are. We're gonna let that dry for about probably 10 minutes or so that thing doesn't keep popping off on us, and then we're gonna start installing it. Okay, so we're back out here with our door handle. Just wanted to show you guys real fast. That right there is the rod that you want. I pulled it out of the car. It goes in like so, and that's the one that we're gonna connect that white clip to. So first off, we're gonna get our new handle. We're gonna stick it on here. Okay guys, so after you battle getting your clips put back in, the 10 mil put back in, the lock mechanism put back in, and that clip actually wraps around from the side. It's like a C shape. It snaps on down around the base there. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it for you. Like so. You want to make sure all that stuff's put back together. And before you go and close your door and possibly lock yourself out of being able to get into this thing and keeping your door stuck shut, come over to the side here and stick a screwdriver into that mechanism, push it all the way back till it closes like that, and then reach around the front side and pull your handle. Make sure it releases. So we're all set there. So now that that's all put back together, there we go, focus. We're gonna stick our plastic vapor barrier thing back in. We are going to get our door panel line back up, plug it back into the switches for the locks, and yeah, get this thing all put back together. That's everything. We got this door handle all put back together. It's nice and flush and new and not broken. That's the best part of it. It works with the key. It works with the key fob here. Where are you? The locks still work fine, which is great. The key still unlocks it and opens it. I'm not going to show you that. It's pretty obvious how to do that. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see some more content. We actually got a big package in the mail. We're going to be really having some fun here soon, weather permitting, of course. And yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention, we did do our first little merch run. We've got our TPG stickers, today's project guide stickers. I'm gonna put one of these on the car here in a second, but we're selling these on Patreon for the minimum amount. I believe it's $3. If you guys want to grab one of these, hit me up on Instagram at today's project guide, and we will get one sent to you next day. If you want to support the channel, feel free to grab one. If not, it's all good. I appreciate you guys viewing the stuff. I'm glad it's helping you folks out. And as always, until next time, you all have a great day, and we will see you again at today's project guide. Take care.